A deep breath. And another. And another. Always breathing deeply, robustly, fully, opening the chest by rolling the shoulders back and down, rolling the shoulders back and down. Today we tap again, and today we tap for peace. Peace to the world. Peace to my mind. Let all my thoughts be still from A Course in Miracles. Peace to all minds. Peace to our human relationships. Peace to all our interactions with finned, feathered, furry, and creepy crawly friends here who share the planet with us. Peace with all. Peace between all. Peace in our words. Peace infusing our every action. Peace informing our thoughts. The peace of God now settles on this entire planet. The tapping points are the brow, right at the third eye, side of eye, right next to your eyes, tapping your head, just below the temples, that little indentation there. Before your cheekbones start, there's a little indentation there. Tapping, tapping, tapping. Under your eye, right on top of that eye socket, that bone that comes out. Powerful meridians end here. And tapping under the nose, right in the middle, above your Cupid's bow. Tapping the front of your chin, right under your lips, right where that indentation goes in. You're already feeling your head all lit up, waking up. Tapping the collarbone, we're now locating all the points, the collarbone. Tapping under the arms. This is called emotional freedom technique. Tapping the heart right here, powerful energy centers and energy movement. You can feel it throughout the body. Pay close attention to your energetic circuitry as you tap. Top of head. And the karate chop point, where you do a karate chop with the sides of both hands together, karate chop style. Give a karate chop to each of the hands so that we get the meridians right here running, these energy currents of energy running right here through these hands. Karate chop. Now that we know where the points are, we begin. Deep breath. Always breathing, always breathing. Breath is a lifeline to spirit. And we began tapping for world peace, for peace to all minds, for peace to our mind, to peace in all we think, say, and do. We're peaceful in our commenting, we're peaceful in our continence, we're peaceful wherever we go, whatever we say. The peace of God reigns in our consciousness. Karate chop, even though I know that sometimes I fight inside myself, Brown, I know that peace is my nature. Side of I, sometimes I just want to fight. And I recognize that aspect of myself because I'm not afraid of my shadow. I still completely love and accept myself. Under I've fought in my life. I've fought enemies that weren't even there. I realize this about myself. I realize that if I'm provoked, who knows what I could do. I could go off at any moment in time. Yet, under nose, I do not use this to guilt myself or make myself think I am anything other than divine. I totally love and accept myself as I am. Divine. Chin. Now I've decided that I'll just put away all the fighting. I'll put away fighting inside myself. I'll put away fighting with other people. Collarbone. Yeah, I think I'm just going to lay down my arms. And I think I'm no longer going to be easily provoked or even uneasily provoked because maybe I had a long fuse. But when people got to the end of it, pow! Underarm, yes. It feels good to think that I can turn into a peaceful person. I know that as more peaceful I am, the more peaceful the whole world is. That's beautiful. I like that idea. Heart, center of chest, right there where the heart is. Well, the heart is not in the center of the chest. So tap in the center of the chest, where we imagine the heart may be. Yes, peace feels good. Peace, I feel the peace flowing through my nervous system now. I feel and know that my nervous system is being recalibrated to peace. I love this feeling. Here it is. I feel the peace right now. Top of head. Oh, this feels wonderful. I'm so happy that I have the power within myself to change myself at any moment by changing my mind. I don't have to wait on other people to be peaceful. Maybe I can be the peaceful one in the bunch. Brown. Yes, I've decided. I will be the peaceful one in the bunch. Maybe when all is just popping off, maybe I can call on the divinity within that is my true self and be peaceful even in the midst of the storm. Side of I, okay, I'll give it a try. Yes, I'll do it. And hey, if it doesn't work, I can always go back to being ratchet and mean and ornery and fighting everybody. But I kind of think this peace thing will work out for me. I kind of think it'll work out for everyone. I'm willing to do it. Under I like it. As a matter of fact, I love it. I love the idea of walking around peaceful in my mind. I love the idea of giving up, forgiving, giving for all my attacked thoughts. I like the idea of getting along with people, especially all the people I love that love me. They're all around me. How about I not fight with them? Yeah, I think that's good. Under nose, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm committing. I can feel that there's nothing for me to lose in this. I'm only going to gain. So therefore, because I only have to gain and everyone has to gain, there is no reason for me not to do it. Chin, yeah, I'll do it. And I'll do it with gusto. I'm not going to just try it. I'm going to hurl myself into the peace pool. And I'm going to keep going. Even if the first few times I try to be peaceful, I still revert to my old ways, collarbone, because I do know that sometimes I revert. And it's okay because I totally love and accept myself as a divine being. There's nothing to be guilty about. I let my self make mistakes. And as the Course says, mistakes never require judgment. Mistakes only require correction. Underarm, feel the peace of God descending on my soul. I feel it blossoming in my spirit. I sense and know that it was there all along. Now I'm choosing intentionally to access it. I'm waking up my whole being to peace. Heart, I'm recalibrating my nervous system right down to peace. I am now allowing the fight or flight hormone of adrenaline to dissipate. I know I can call on adrenaline anytime I need to, anytime I want to. Because, of course, adrenaline can always be manufactured in my body in a split second. I don't need it all the time. So I allow the adrenaline in the body temple, my stunt double, my avatar, to dissipate. And when I need it, I'll get some. I'll make some. Top of head, this feels good. Oh, yes, I'm in another dimension, a peaceful dimension. I'm creating a peaceful world within myself of pure beauty and bliss. Therefore, I see a peaceful world around me. Oh, this is lovely. No more fights. No more disagreements. No more conflicts. No more inner conflict. No more war. Only the peace, the relaxing peace, serenity, tranquility of my soul. Deep breath. Scan. Feel the energy moving. Chi, prana, life force energy, pneuma, moving, circulating through the hands, all the meridians, flowing freely, perfected, a perfected energy flow in accord with peace, a nervous system now calibrated to peace and not war, adrenaline dissipated in the body temple, welcoming the new hormone, or even more right use of the hormone anandamide, the bliss hormone, serotonin, dopamine in perfect amounts, and all the other wonderful chemicals that work in the body, along with the mind, spirit, breath, soul, all of it working in tandem. And now, from your purview as an energetic being, source, raise your awareness above your body temple and see the body seated in your meditation space. And come to the right side, bring your awareness and attention to the right side of your body, and kiss your body on the cheek. Now bring your awareness in front of the body temple and look at your beautiful face, your amazing face, your handsome face, your stunning countenance, all peaceful and shining. And take your face of the body temple, the face you're wearing in this third dimension, into your hands and kiss your face's forehead. Pour love on this body temple. You know that you are not a body because you would never be able to take your consciousness out of the body anytime you desire and go anywhere you desire. But the body's still in stillness. And now bring your awareness to the left side, your body's left cheek, and plant a kiss on your body's face, the left side, signaling to the body temple it is loved, so that it brings itself, it follows the perfect pattern of love and produces health, vitality, sexiness, youthfulness, vigor, flexibility, beauty, strength, and all that is divine perfection according to the perfect pattern of love. Now bring your awareness inside the body and look around through the eyes as you like to do when you are making it safe for the body temple to walk about the planet. You place your awareness inside the body and you look through the window panes known as the eyes. Remembering you are not a body, you have a body. And when we are ready, we slowly open the eyes of the body, looking down first, slowly opening the window panes of the body, looking up, stretching. It's a new day. 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 All right, let's get this hair together after I tapped it down. Let's get it together. After tapping it down, let's get it sort of in order. Okay, we're going to go up. This is a mirror thing, so that's why I'm always going opposite of what it really is. All right, let's begin. A Course in Miracles, Lesson 88. Are we ready? We're ready. 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 Who feels different with that tapping? I feel lovely. It's a lovely thing to do. Where I am, it's 4 a.m. Oh, actually, yes, it's 4 a.m. It's actually 5:20 a.m. in Mexico, part of Mexico where I currently am. God morning, God morning, God morning. We love you. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. Screen share. Lesson 88. A review of 2 lessons. The first lesson we will review is lesson 75. The light has come. The light has come. Tell yourself, the light has come. Woo! Feel it. The light has come, baby. The light has come. In choosing salvation rather than attack, I will choose salvation rather than attack. And what is salvation? Salvation is being peaceful and happy within myself and giving up all my grievances because I forgave them all. Rather than attack because I think there's separation. I've solved the only problem that there is. The only problem is separation. And therefore, I'm no longer in the only problem because God already gave me a solution. Oneness is inside my mind. God placed the solution where the problem is so that I can bring the tomato and the knife together and have a salad. And choosing salvation rather than attack, I merely choose to recognize what is already there. Salvation is a decision made already. We already made the decision to be happy. We already made the decision to be free. We've already made the decision to come here and light up the world. Attack and grievances are not there to choose. You see, there's no attack and no grievance in reality. In reality, these are all made up in the mind from the illusion, from the perception of separation. These are made up in the mind. I can give that up. That is why I always choose between truth and illusion. These are my only choices between what is there and what is not. The Course says in the very beginning, nothing unreal exists, and nothing real can be threatened. Herein lies the peace of God. Once you understand what's real, oh, this argument with this person I love is not real. I'm making up shit in my big old head. Oh, and this person can't insult me. God cannot be insulted. It's not possible. This person cannot attack me because I and this person are one. And when you walk about with the oneness vibration, you might say, wow, if you walk around all peaceful and everybody else is ratchet, they're just going to step all over you. They're just going to beat you down. They're just going to take advantage of you because you're the kind one and everybody else is still mean. I need to keep some of my meanness because in case I meet up with some mean people, I need to combat mean with mean. I need to be able to step to these people of blah, blah, blah. Well, no. Because in understanding how energy works, energy does not work that way. How does energy work? Energy is contagious. So when I step into peace, I'm also lighting up the whole space where I am and far beyond me where my body is not, yet spirit is everywhere. Quantum physics has taught us this. I'm lighting up the whole world with the peace that I bring. Peace is contagious. Frequencies are contagious. So we're choosing between truth and illusion, between what is there and what is not. The light has come. I can but choose the light, for it has no alternative. The light doesn't have an alternative. Love doesn't have an alternative. And love doesn't have an opposite. Love is maximal at all points. Love is all encompassing. Love is all there is. Anything else that I experience, that I determine for myself, that I am seeing, I made up in my mind. My mind is where my perceptions are born. First, I think it in my mind, then I see it in my world. First, I think it in my mind, then I see it in the world. First, I think it in my mind, then I see it in the world. Light has replaced the darkness, and the darkness is gone. Now let's get our ammo for the day, because you never know. You might be getting dressed for the Oscars and everything is amazing and everything is wonderful, and all of a sudden, temptation. These would prove useful forms for specific applications of this idea. So let's get in advance. You're just being proactive. A master is one who does things before you need to do them. You know what you're going to say if something occurs. Here's the first thing you can say to yourself in your own mind, not to other people. There are no other people. There's only oneness. You are everyone you see. This cannot show me darkness, for the light has come. This cannot show me darkness. In other words, it's a refusal to go into the darkness and an allegiance to the light. No, I chose my side. I am in the light and I'm bringing the light. And the light will dispel all the creepy crawlies, all the mold and all the critters in my own consciousness that are hiding in the shadow, the places in my consciousness where I refuse to bring the light. The light in you is all that I would see. Name. I'm going to use that one. When anyone says anything, does anything that is, I have a disturbance in my peace because I'm choosing to see something that is not there. We take 100% responsibility for self and our own consciousness and what our mind is doing in any moment. There is no other. And so we say to ourselves, the light in you is all that I would see. It's not that you're lying to yourself and you're playing an avoidance game and you're trying to convince yourself of something that's not so, and you're trying to fight your mind. None of that. You're speaking the truth. The light in you is all that I would see. You see, and when you say name, fill in the name. And when you say it's all that I would see, that means I'm not going to see what's wrong with you. What I made up in my mind is wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with anyone. I made that, including yourself. I made all that up in my head. This person don't do this. They're always late. They don't like, they talk rude. You mean, you a mean ass. I made all that up in my mind. And every time I think it, I am saying, by heaven, I want to go to hell and suffer. And I'm going to stab the life preserver that I am being sent, just God's plan for salvation, save my ass from my own mind. I'm going to cut the cord to the big cruise ship and I'm just going to drown myself here in the ocean of unforgiveness. The light in you is all that I would see, name. And even if you can't see it, say it to yourself. The light in you. And breathe and tap while you do it. Tap on your heart. The light in you is all that I would see. Fill in the name. You really could fill in your own name because your name is all names. And all names are your name. I would see in this only what is there. Ooh, I would see in this only what is there. That means I'm not going to go to misuse of my imagination and begin to make up things that are not there. They mean to me. They don't like me. I'm not going to do that any longer. The light has come. It's a declaration of release. It's a statement of no longer do I play foolish games in hell, walking about in the darkness and finding things wrong with everyone and everything, including myself. Because if you're finding something wrong with other people, it's simply self-loathing jumping out and attaching itself to other people. It's my own self-loathing jumping out and attaching to other people. When you get this, you'll start really getting along with people. When you see the light as yourself, you'll see the light as everyone. And everyone will start to be peaceful to you and they'll welcome you and they'll do wonderful things for you because you're doing wonderful things for you. You got your mind right. This second lesson we are reviewing, lesson 76, a fave of a lot of us. I am under no laws but God's. You could have told yourself that in 2020 and 2021, right? When it got really, really sketchy there for a minute. We had the apocalypse, the revelation. What was the revelation? A revealing that maybe we don't want to keep doing things the way we've been doing them on planet Earth. Maybe we want to evolve. Maybe we want to ascend. Maybe we want to go higher in our consciousness. Maybe we want to come out of a collective fear. It was simply a revelation of the collective fear that humanity was holding in our shadow. It was a collective revelation, a collective healing moment that we all had together. And now, after that, we're changed. We're better. Everything is for you. Nothing's against you. We're better. And family, these energies that are hitting the planet now, as that began on the Lionsgate 8/8 in 2020, 2019, somewhere around there when the first rays of the Aquarian system began to hit us. Aquarius is coming for all of us. We are leaving the Piscean age and we're going into the age of Aquarius. And the Piscean age, ruled by Christ, notice the fish. If you don't notice the astrology in the Bible, look at the symbols we used. Fish, keeper of the Piscean age, Christ, keeper of the Aquarian age, Saint Germain. As we go into the Aquarian age, these high vibration frequencies has been hitting our planet, more solar flares, lots of energy hitting the planet, and not everyone can deal. Some people just pop off. We call that death. Some people just pop off. They're not dead. You can't kill energy. So I am under no laws but God's. That's a very good thing to remind yourself after 2020 and 2021. Here is the perfect statement of my freedom. This is a statement of your freedom. Beloved, this is a statement of your freedom. I am under no laws but God's. I am constantly tempted to make up other laws and give them power over me. I made up the law that if I put a piece of fabric across my face, I'm going to be okay. And if I put it across my kids' face, they're going to be okay too. I suffer only because of my belief in them. Now, whether you want to do it or not do it, trust me, it is not about the mask. It is not about the jab. It is not about locks on your door. It is not about the seatbelt. It is about one thing, your consciousness, your consciousness, your consciousness, your consciousness. What you choose to do with your consciousness is your business. Get your mind right. That's what this is about. Get your mind right and act accordingly. It's not about whether you take a pill or don't take a pill. It's not about pills at all. None of them mean anything. A lock on your door means nothing. It's neutral. Everything in the third dimension is neutral. What are you using it for? And please don't look at what people do and think that that has anything to do with what their consciousness is. It doesn't. The two are not the same. We don't know everyone's consciousness. Only God knows everyone's consciousness. I don't even barely know my own whole consciousness. They have no real effect on me at all. You see, the rules that we made up about ourselves and the laws we put ourselves under, the law of unworthiness, the law of lack and limitation. I want to do this, but I don't want my soul wants to leap up and my soul says yes. Yet we don't do them because we put ourselves under laws of poverty and lack, limitation, and not enough. And I can't do it because I don't have the money. Those are laws you put on yourself. Take them off. The laws of, oh my goodness, if I do this, if I come out as a witch, all the people in my life, they're just going to flip. They can't take magical beings because they're all in church and they're all, praise the Lord, speaking in tongues, and they're pastors. Because my family, my family is special. They're different. This is why I can't come out as a witch, because my family is pastors, they're evangelists, they're holy rollers, they're Jesus freaks, they're in church all the time, all day. They drag me to church with them. So I just can't. If I come out as a witch, it'll just be, I'm under no laws but God's. I show up who I am. And like the chips fall where they may. You don't know who's reading tarot cards when you're not around. You don't know who's talking to a spiritual advisor. And trust me, when I was being a spiritual advisor and reading tarot cards, most of the people I read for were Christians, tipping in the night like Nicodemus, tipping to Jesus in the nighttime. Now, can you tell me, because it wouldn't have been acceptable for him to be a Christian witch. It's not acceptable, but in the nighttime when nobody's looking, can you tell me what you meant when you said so and so and so and so? Because I can't be wearing these robes and being part of this group, the so-called church group at the time, right? The religious Jews, the Jewish Sadducees, Pharisees. I can't be one of them and be kind of liking you, but I kind of like you. You talking some stuff that's speaking to my soul. How you gonna be tipping over here talking to Jesus? And they about to round him up and try to kill him. But you over here saying, please tell me more. Don't you think that's a metaphor for what's happening with a lot of people that are in church? Yes, they're wondering about the mysteries. They're wondering about energy. They don't know where deja vu comes from. They're wondering about spirits. They're wondering about tarot. They're wondering about, what are you doing with those crystals? They're wondering about that altar. Don't put yourself under laws God didn't make. Don't put yourself under to be beholden to other people and what they believe. What do other people's beliefs have to do with you? Yet I stayed in this prison for the longest. I was too afraid to be myself because, the Christians, oh my God, that religion thing, ooh, that's a big yoke. That's even a bigger yoke than coming out as being a gay or trans person, that's coming out as being a witch. That religion thing, because why we're so rooted in it, it's visceral. You mess with people's religions, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get. And let's face it, we made all the religions up. We made them up. People, we made them all up. And I like that we made them up. It's wonderful. It's not a bad thing that we made them up. We made them up because we needed them. We needed to say some words and some prayers we needed to come to a building and come together with other people that were trying to get their mind right too. We needed all of that. And then after you graduated, you'll see, maybe it's not about the prayer. Maybe it's about my mind. Let me be still and go within. Maybe it's not about this holy book telling me what to do. Maybe there's a holy book written inside me that I can read and let express as my life. Maybe I am the holy book. I'm perfectly free of the effects of all laws save God's. Tell yourself that you are free of the effects of all the laws that are not God's. They have no effect on you. You see, during 2020, we went to Dubai, we went to Peru, I went to New Orleans, a few places in New Orleans, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Miami. I don't remember where else I went. I went everywhere. I walked outside every day. I never sheltered in place. And I'm free of the effects of all the laws other than God's. They have no effect on you whatsoever. No one's ever said anything to me. You are a completely free being trapped in the mind. How? By the mechanism of fear. Forgive it all. You know what? I forgive being in fear. I forgive it. I forgive thinking something was going to jump on me from the outside and take me. Let me give up these thoughts. These are foolish thoughts. These are foolish thoughts. These are thoughts of attack. These are thoughts of victim. These are thoughts of fear. And they're very effective. That's why they're used ad nauseum on the masses to hypnotize us into doing things that we don't really want to do or that we have questions about it, but don't ask questions. Just do it. And all manner of manipulation. Don't you love your family? Just come on, take one for the team. Okay, this is how we get out of it. This is how we all get out of it. We all have to do the same thing to get out of it. How about I sit here in meditation and change my mind and we'll all get out of it? You saw the detrimental effects on mental health, emotional health, bodily health of fear, of global fear and global panic. Is that what we desire to do? Not me. I'm not going to do that. I am perfectly free. Tell yourself this, of the effects of all laws save God's. I'm not subject to the effects of the laws of whatever people make up. Do you understand that people somewhere are sitting in a room right now making up something about your life? Do you understand that you are not beholden to that at all? And while we're completely lawful beings, I'm not talking about breaking the law. I'm talking about remembering who you are. I'm talking about knowing who you are. We're talking about remembering yourself and that you are creating your reality from within and that God's law are the laws of freedom and his are the laws of freedom. God's laws are the laws of freedom. Why would we choose to enslave ourselves once we have been freed by the laws of God? Here is the specific forms. Here are the specific forms in applying this idea today that will be very useful. My perception of this shows me I believe in laws that do not exist. My perception. Let's return to perception. Whereas perception is made up in my mind. All my opinions of other people are coming from inside my mind. Not one of them is true to what other people really are and really do. I don't even know what other people are doing or saying. I only know what I've made up in my mind about them. I don't know what they really are. As a matter of fact, I came to the realization one day I was in a vision. I realized that I had never seen anyone for who they truly are in my entire life because I was looking at them through my own eyes. And I saw this and that and the other. And I was very clear on what I saw. And I was invested in what I saw. And I made it all up. I had made it all up. None of it was them in actuality. So I had to do the relinquish. As the course says, you must forgive it. You must relinquish it. You have to take the blinders off yourself and then recognize, remember who they are, remember who I am. My perception of this shows me I believe in laws that do not exist. You see, the laws that are not laws of God don't exist. Don't listen to a crazy random lady on YouTube. Go test it for yourself. I'm not looking for disciples. I'm here to share, and prayerfully we all become masters. I'm not looking for followers, not looking for any of that. Are you lighting up the world? Are you bringing light to the world? That's what matters. Souls. We have made up mechanisms on the third dimension for us to stay in contact, right? Subscribe buttons, like buttons, for us to share buttons. These are beautiful. Please understand that your consciousness is so far above that and beyond that you are not under the laws of social media either. If someone censors you, isn't it their company? If I make a company, can I do anything with it I want to do within the law? Of course I can. If you make up a company right now and you say, I only want white people on it, can you do that? Of course you can. No, you be prepared for the consequences. It may be a riot on your doorstep. Can you do it? Of course you can. You just made up laws that don't exist. And then you can enforce those laws. In my company, I only do this. You can enforce those laws. Are they real? No. Therefore, will they last? No. They're not real. They won't last. Because the laws of the universe are the only laws that prevail. The laws of the universe says all is one. The laws of the universe says all is mind. In your mind, Mother Teresa, you walk among lepers, supposedly highly contagious. I'm from God. I'm doing the work of God. Never caught anything. Walked among lepers, supposedly highly contagious. Never had an issue. I'm doing what she was under no laws but God's in her own mind. Therefore, she stayed completely lawful. Please do know that the laws of God do not conflict with the laws of humans. They're not in conflict. I see only the laws of God at work in this. God's laws are not in conflict with anything. God's laws are the natural, harmonious unfoldment of this great universe. Get on side. Get on board with the laws of this universe. You'll be perfectly perfect. You'll be amazingly amazing, as Rainbow says. I see only the laws of God at work in this. That's what you say when you look at 2020 and 2021. I see only the laws of God at work in this. Let me allow God's laws to work in this and not my own. Boom! That's me surrendering. That's a statement of surrender. Let me take my hands off the steering wheel. I have to do this with myself often. And at one point I had to do it a lot. Now I just stay in my right place as much as I can. Let me not drive the car. Let me scoot my butt over to the passenger side. Divinity, divine mind is driving. The lower egoic conscious mind is no longer in charge. I found out something very amazing that I did not know. That when I find these things out, I'm so happy to find them out. Pardon me. And I desire to share them. I did not know that Steve Jobs gave away a book at his funeral. And what book did he give away to everyone at his funeral? Well, obviously, he didn't give the book to them because his body was gone. This is how you can tell the spirit lives on, because he was still acting for people while his body was there. I don't know, maybe it was laying in a casket or something. Steve Jobs had this incredible epiphanies probably all through his life. Steve Jobs wasn't being led by the lower egoic mind. Steve Jobs was being led by a vision, by something that was an intuitive hunch. He had never seen it in the third dimension. He wasn't ruled by the third dimension. He had never seen it. As a matter of fact, it looked like he was breaking the rules of the third dimension. He did not. Steve Jobs was led by a vision from within, and he saw it and he knew it. He saw it in his own vision, and he communicated it to other people. And they said that there was a zone around him that when you came, they actually had a name for it. It was like the Steve Jobs zone or something like that. That when you came around Steve Jobs, you just got sucked into his belief was so vast in what he was creating, so unshakable. His belief was beyond where technology was, which is where we do create from. We create from the all. And then we bring it into the third dimension. And what you're bringing into the third dimension has not been invented yet. So if it's never been invented in the third dimension, why would you be stuck and beholden to the laws of the third dimension? He was in no way beholden to the laws of the third dimension, because all of the tech, the engineers were telling him, he said, I want this kind of glass, and it does this, and it does that, and it does that on the phone. They told him that doesn't exist. He said, go make it. And they went to their laboratories and they were trying to make this glass, and they said, we can't make this. This is not possible to make. See, they were still in the third dimension. They hadn't read A Course in Miracles, I'm under no laws but God's, because they didn't know that they could push the boundaries of time and space and create new things out of the nothing. That's how it works. Everything that we have came out of nothing. Well, they came back to him and they said, this can't be made. It's not possible. And what did he say? Go make it. They were looking at each other like, this man is not even listening to a word we're saying. Right. Because he was in another multi-dimensional. So what was the book that he left in his will and in all his papers of how things were to unfold when they were putting his body to rest, and now his soul, spirit's soaring everywhere? He's probably super happy and still talking to the people at Apple, telling them how to do this, that, and the other in their dreams and in other places where he can communicate with them in the ways that the communicates with us. The universe communicates with us beyond physical. Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. He gave everyone at his funeral not a book about business, not even though he was a magnificent businessman. I don't know, maybe you don't like all his tactics, who can. The Autobiography of a Yogi. That was the book that Steve Jobs gave everyone at his funeral. Imagine that. When I was in California, one of my many trips to California, love California, love it, love it, love it. San Francisco and that incredible Pacific Coast Highway, mind-blowing. The Pacific Coast Highway, just rent a car one day and just drive up the Pacific Coast Highway, and where the rock edge, the cliff falls all the way down and there's the ocean. I don't have any words for the Pacific Coast Highway. It's Beyond words. It's beyond words. Now, it was very hair raising and scary for me because it was like jagged hairpin turns, like on the side of a mountain. It's very, very hair raising. Yet it was so spectacular. In the moments that I was not gripped with fear, I would just look out and be like, it would be awe. I kind of vacillated between awe and fear when I would look in the third dimension, and awe when I would just let go of that for a few moments and look out and look at the sky, meeting the ocean and the waves coming in and the mountains. It's too spectacular for words. So, anyway, on one of those trips to California, I went to the Self Realization Fellowship. Let's see if I can bring it up on screen share. The Self Realization Fellowship. And this Self Realization Fellowship, let's go here. Just type in Self Realization Fellowship. It might come up. And when you go to Self Realization Fellowship, I don't usually use Google. I only use Google for this because Google spies on people, like really, really, really spies on people. I usually use DuckDuckGo. I use this because this thing doesn't work with the DuckDuckGo browser. So that's why you see me on Google. Here is Self-Realization Fellowship. It is at yogananda.org. So Paramahansa Yogananda, and here's the Self-Realization Fellowship. It is located in California. It was founded in 1920 by Paramahansa Yogananda. And Paramahansa Yogananda was a very, 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 very profound, enlightened being when he was in a body. Here he is. And he wrote the book, Autobiography of a Yogi. And Paramahansa Yogananda was able to do things that people say could not be done. And the only reason they said that it couldn't be done is because they didn't know how to do them. That's what we like to do as humans. We like to say that because we don't know how to do it, or we haven't tapped into that superpower, we like to act like it can't be done. No, your mind can't do it. Because here's another mind sleeping on a bed of nails. Here's another mind that's not even eating food or drinking water and has lived for years like that. So here's a group of Buddhists in a cave who, when they're at 50 degrees and they are wearing nothing but just light undergarments, and they're meditating, and they should be cold, and then they take cold wet sheets and throw them on them. And while they're in meditation, the sheets start steaming. Now, because you don't know how to regulate your body temperature, I don't know how to do that either. Because we don't know how to regulate our body temperature. We say, that can't happen. No, what's the trick? How does that work? That's because you haven't raised your consciousness. Don't think other people were sitting watching Netflix and eating popcorn while you were doing that. They were meditating. So we don't know the powers of the mind. And we're under no laws but God. So when I went to the Self-Realization Fellowship, I'm going to tell you something about the flowers at the Self-Realization Fellowship, the one in California. Every flower I saw at the Self-Realization Fellowship, because there are flowers growing all over the place, was so ginormous and so full. And so it'll make those flowers, you're getting those roses, those little tightly bud roses that you're getting from Whole Foods, it'll make those look like the man-made creation that they are, because these were real flowers growing in an energy, just like in the book, The Celestine Prophecy, how they were able to grow these plants through consciousness. Of course, the plants were in soil and they had water and they had sun, and their consciousness on the plants. Read the book, The Celestine Prophecy. That's probably the one I'll give away at my funeral, The Celestine Prophecy. It's a game changer. It's a total game changer. And in the Celestine Prophecy, they were able to grow these plants supernaturally fast and supernaturally big and beautiful. And you can see the aura around all the plants. That's how the flowers are at the Self-Realization Fellowship. That when you go there, the flowers are extraordinary. I kept looking at the flowers like, what is that? That's a rose. That's a rose? What? When you see a rose in full bloom, it doesn't look like anything you buy in the store. In the wild, it just doesn't. We call ourselves gardeners. We're really editors of the divine plan. That's really what we are. We're taking our shears and we're cutting away some of the most awe-inspiring aspects of nature. Well, Paramahansa Yogananda, it is said that and you can get the lessons. I've gotten lots of material from the Self-Realization Fellowship. And I think I even have something from them in my Bible right here on my altar because it was that life-changing and astounding. It is said that Paramahansa Yogananda, when he passed on, he did a lot of things with his body and his consciousness that people say are not possible. When he passed on, he was able to keep his body, because many yogis can stop their heartbeat and start it again, or they can slow their heartbeat down such that it is undetectable. And this is not fairy tale, because we actually have plant medicines that can do that as well. Shakespeare alluded to it in Romeo and Juliet. I don't remember if it was hemlock or what they drank. He incorporated the lore of the plants into the story, that they drank this potion and then they were going to wake up later, because the potion makes you look like you're dead and you're not actually dead. And back in the day, people did not have instruments to measure that we have now. We're looking and measuring everything. And even with all our instruments, there have been many people that have, quote unquote, been dead, been pronounced dead, that came back to life, quote unquote, came back to life. And they flatlined. And they were flatlined for a while. One, I heard this doctor, Dr. Radanya, who Edgar Cayce has in his books. Dr. Radanya in Russia was dead for 3 days. Sound familiar? Sound like somebody else? Sound like Jesus? Sound like Lazarus? He was dead 3 days, clinically dead. He was in the morgue and he woke up after 3. He was cold. He was cold. And one of the things that happened while Dr. Radanya was dead was, of course, they're going to use him, Upper Realms, the Alliance, will use Dr. Radanya now to help people who are living. And what did they do? Dr. Radanya traveled while he was dead, quote unquote, while the body stunt double, the avatar, was dead. Dr. Radanya went to one of his best friend's home. Oh, let me tell you how Dr. Radanya got dead in the first place. Dr. Radanya was in communist Russia, and he was seeking to escape. And he was a scientist. So, of course, they did not want him to leave because they don't want a brain drain on the country, right? When countries go really bad, the smartest, most accomplished people, maybe that have some means or whatever, they start fleeing. And then we call it a brain drain, because now all the really smart people are like, I'm out of here, right? I don't want to be accosted while I'm in my laboratory, and I don't want to be told by the government what to do. Well, he was in that category, and he was leaving Russia, communist Russia, and they got wind of it, and he got his family out, and he was going to go get on the plane, and they put out a hit on him. The government put out a hit on him. And when he was, this is not the people that are in Russia now. This is back in the day, many years ago. And while he was on his way to the airport, you can read all about this in Edgar Cayce's books. He was on his way to the airport, and the Russians, the ones who were working for the government, not all Russians are like this. Please know, family, the whole country wasn't evil. Russian people even say it now. They're cutting us off from Spotify. They're doing this, they're doing that because of what's going on. All the Russian people are not evil. Why do we blame the whole country on the actions of a few people? Anyway, these particular Russian people that were working for the government, not all the Russian people, just the ones that were working for the government, the ones that had subscribed to the particular regime. Not everyone in the country, just like when I was in America, I wasn't subscribed to the American regime. Just because a person is living there doesn't mean they're subscribed to the regime and that they're on board. Okay, they could be actively resisting it. They could be creating a new world. Well, Dr. Radanya was creating a new world, and he was getting ready to get on a plane, and he had gotten word that all his family was on the plane. They were safe. They had gotten out, and now it was time to get Dr. They had to do this very covert mission to even get Dr. Radanya and all his family out. And he was on his way to the airport. And when he got to the airport, I think they had like some private plane, or they were going to, they had his documents ready for him to board the airplane. He got out of the car and he was walking, and a car came speeding and ran him over, hit and run, and kept going. They killed him. And I think kind of he was either pronounced dead on the spot, or, I mean, this was a hit. This wasn't an accident. They found out later who it was and all that kind of stuff. Well, he was either pronounced dead on the scene or when he got to the hospital. And so that, he's dead. Dr. Radanya, oh, it's so sad. He's gone. This is horrible. They didn't want him to get out the country. They was like, either you stay and you be on side with us, or you're out. But we're not letting you out. And do you think that the God plan was going to be thwarted just because of a dead body? Do you really think that? Do you really think the divine plan was going to be thwarted? As soon as Dr. Radanya was on the other side, he was like, oh, hey, guys, I'm on the other side. They were like, okay, you're not going to stay here. You are going back. Like they told many people. Countless people have had these experiences. They went to the other side, and they told them on the other side, now you're not going to stay. You just came here for a visit. Yes. And here's what it's about. And then now go back, and they go back in their body, and they say that they were in this incredible bliss, and then they come back in their crumpled body or whatever that's on the operating table or in the emergency room, and all these people are helping their body. And then they feel this intense, amazing pain, and they're like, why am I back in a body? They feel this constriction because they were in the all. Well, Dr. Radanya was in the all, and he had a friend, and his friend had just had a baby. And the baby used to cry, screaming in pain. The baby was screaming in pain. No one could find out what was going on with the baby. The baby would not nurse. The baby was wasting away. It was clear that if this baby did not get some help, this baby was going to die. And the body of this baby was going to go. Dr. Radanya went to this baby and saw what happened. The nurse for this baby had dropped the baby and told no one. Of course, she was embarrassed. The baby's hip was broken, and the baby was in excruciating pain. Even if you touched this baby was in excruciating pain and could not even nurse. So Dr. Radanya came and told his friend this, and the friend told the doctor, and they checked the baby. They had been checking the baby, couldn't find what was going on. And then they did something to the baby. They addressed the situation with the baby. The baby was able to nurse, and the baby continued on, healthy, happy life. While Dr. Radanya was doing that, going around helping people and saving people's lives, his body was in the morgue for 3 days. This is a scientific, actual reported event on file. This is a historical event. This is not going back to the Bible and you hear these miraculous things that happened to people a very long time ago, but we don't have any proof, and we don't have any proof of it, though anything is possible. I've seen enough to know that anything is possible. I don't know what's not possible at this point. And I'm not a naive person. I'm a critical thinker, and I'm very suspicious of things because I'm from New York, and New Yorkers have a natural skepticism. I didn't want my healthy skepticism to turn into being jaded. Nah, that ain't it. Nah, they can't do that. Nah, and just not believe anything and keep myself limited in the jail. Well, 3 days later, in the morgue, Dr. Radanya sits up. His spirit went back into his body. He sits up and he's awake. And he's perfectly fine. And he did get to America. His family and he joined with his family, and he lived, and he wrote to tell the story. What? That doesn't even sound like something that you could do. Does that sound like even something that could even happen? So I say all this to say that Paramahansa Yogananda was able to do these things at will. He was able to stop his heartbeat. He was able to, I believe he was the one that they buried him for 40 days. And when they took him out, he just started his heart back again, and he began doing what he was always doing. This is really extremely fascinating to me because it proves I'm under no laws but God's. The floor is open.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. I did some thinking, and I don't know, I don't like to get caught in my head, but I watched your video on the slap heard around the world, and I realized yesterday I was not connecting with that whole thing, and then I had to go in meditation. I'm like, man, I was the slapper. I was the slappee. I was the onlookers. And I realized, my gosh, I was in this thing and really blocking the ugly part of it. I didn't want to identify with any of that violence or anger. And then I realized, man, I am so there with it that I couldn't even see it myself. Even though I've had those experiences, I'm like, my goodness, today I'm having the experience you all had yesterday. Like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So when I think about these review lessons that we have today, the light has come. And it feels like this bright light is shining on me because I need to be able to see what's going on in my consciousness. And I cannot pretend these things are not there and just go on. And that's what I was seeing. I was pretending that I didn't have a shadow side and there was nothing wrong with me. I'm perfect. Well, I wasn't really thinking that. I was thinking, I'm not going to look at the shadow stuff. I'm going to ignore it. And that was a conscious decision I made somewhere. And it doesn't really help in ascension because, as we discussed, we have to be able to understand all of us, every part of us, the light side, the dark side. It's really good to focus in on being the light and the light has come and blah, blah, blah. However, there's that shadow side that pops its head up, and understanding that, embracing both sides of me is really, it's challenging and it's helping me to go forward. Now, yesterday after the call, of course, I called Dr. Jiwa and I'm like, Dr. Jiwa, something's going on. And she's like, I was like, something's going on. I don't know. And I'm not sure if I like it. She's like, okay. So we had this whole conversation about everything that we were talking about. And I was like, and I said, man, that was a slap in the face. And she starts cracking up. I was like, yeah, I guess this is my slap in the face to come to the realization that at some point I have to look at the shadow side. I have to look at the light. I have to look at it. All is mine. And all of this stuff is in my mind. That's where it resides. And if I decided to ascend and go higher, I have to, without judgment, being able to understand my complete self so that I can be whole in situations where it's time to share or time to listen or time to understand someone else's perspective. I need to be able to have that balance. So really appreciative of these lessons. And the other one that we have, that we're reviewing today. I'm under no laws but God. That is like one of my favorite Course of Miracles lesson, because it says, here is the perfect statement of my freedom. I can be free. Freedom is something that has always been important to me. And I didn't know that I was making myself unfree because I created so many rules and regulations, and this must be, and this has to be, or else. And so in this review, it says, I'm constantly tempted to make up other laws and give them power over me. So I am doing all of this to myself. And all of that comes out of fear. All of it comes out of the shadow. All of it comes out of, let me try to protect myself because I know better than God. I know better than God within that. When I say I am talking about the egoic self. So these lessons were really great for me to review today. So I really thank you for this, and I cannot wait to hear what everyone else has to say. Good morning, everyone that's on stage. Good morning, everyone that's in the room. Let's have this conversation. I'm complete.
I'm so happy that you got to watch that video, because the inspiration came to me yesterday to do that video. It took me hours to do that video yesterday. If I tell you the level of resistance that came up for me to do that video, I was like, aha, I see resistance. It took me hours to record, to prepare for, record, edit, and upload one 14-minute video. Why? Because of resistance. I'm telling you, the tech wouldn't work right. This thing wouldn't work right. The apps weren't working right. This version didn't. Why? Because I knew the message was important. You know what I thought of yesterday when you were speaking, Queen Hadassah? I thought about your incredible, powerful video that you made on Facebook.
Yeah, I blanked out all of that. I blanked on all of that yesterday. I was like, what is going on? This makes no sense. And then when I watched the video, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really have to do this shadow work. And I blanked on every single thing I did. So go on, Rev, go on.
Because you took a huge step. You actually took a huger step than I've seen a whole lot of people. I probably would not have had the courage to make that video you became my shero that day. And I'm like, wow, like awesome. She did it. Look at her. Do you remember? Do you want to share? Or it's still public? Is the video still public? Can people see it?
Yeah, it's still public. It's on my YouTube channel. I think it's called The Health Connection, Dr. B on the Beach. And that YouTube channel was a channel that I created after calling you from crying for months on the beach after I was making my exit from the Matrix. I was already out the Matrix, but still crying because I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my life? So that YouTube channel is really a place where I make healing videos for myself. So what had happened was, I was having dinner with my family, and in the middle of dinner, one of my front teeth fell out. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And the reason why that tooth fell out was because I was in a very violent relationship with my drug dealing baby daddy of the 90s. And I tried to break up with him. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And basically, he became violent and knocked the tooth out of my mouth in public at my job. I was so embarrassed. I was being taken away by an ambulance. He was being taken away by the cops. And that's the story level. The issue was I was hiding in shame and guilt, and the whole process of this tooth falling out was for me to come out of that, because I was willing to talk about every single thing else that was in my life except the most embarrassing thing. I mean, I am Dr. D, for God's sake. These things don't happen to me And I was willing to hide behind degrees and accomplishments and all kinds of things, plastic plaques from China. This is who I am. But really who I was someone who had a story to tell and had to free myself from this idea that someone did something to me. And no, he didn't do anything to me. He did something for me. And because of the depth of my shame and guilt and hiding behind stuff, the spirit is like, well, guess what? We're going to do this. And when I told you about it, you're like, wait, make a video. I was like, what?
Yes, tell that story. Oh my God.
And family, let me tell you something. Do not be in a position to have Reverend Valerie Love as your accountability partner, because she will be on that ass. Okay, so you were my partner for this video, and you were like, did you make the video? I was like, no, I'm gonna make it. And I was like, let me not have this woman call me one more time. So I was sitting outside of my dentist's office, and I made the video with my tooth hanging out, with no tooth in my mouth. I made this video to talk about, and I applied it to law and everything I was, listening and learning. So, cause and effect, there was a cause. The tooth being knocked out was the effect. So can I be upset at the effect and not address the cause? Vibration. This came to me by vibration. It showed me just how violent I was. That I could be that violent to cause this kind of bodily harm to someone. And I was being violent to myself. And so this person was pretty much the mirror to show me how violent I was to myself. And it goes on and on with the application of law. So I was very, making that video was very freeing, because it helped me to do what you said earlier, heal publicly and heal for the people that will see it, healing for myself and all the abused women, girls, children in my consciousness. And really, I made a lot of things up in my head, and that video helped to free me from it, from the violence, self-abuse, the self-hatred that I was holding. However, I was walking around thinking that I'm great. There's nothing wrong with me. Look at me. I'm fabulous. And that was not so. Spirit when you say I want to ascend, your higher self will take you some places, and some things will happen. Some unsavory, what we would say is unsavory, I thought was unsavory. Oh my God, I'm in a fancy restaurant. My tooth fell out, and I'm just so embarrassed. What do I do? I hid for a month, this was right in the middle of my video blitz. I was making a video a day, and I didn't get on Facebook for weeks, because I was hiding out, and I couldn't do that anymore. How could I be in this community? How could I say I want to ascend, and I want to do all these things, and I want to be a better person, and I want, and then not do the work? That was really, it was like, Denise, at some point you're going to have to do the work. And this prodding and pushing to do the work is getting louder and louder. Like, what else needs to happen before you tell this story? So basically that's what I did. I told the story of how I got a tooth punched out of my mouth. I'm complete.
And what was so courageous about this video is that you're sitting outside the dentist's office to get your new tooth, and you're doing the whole video with the tooth out. I was done. I was like, how did you do that? Because there's some people hiding right now. I see you. We coming for you. Hiding right now. Some secret pain, some secret something, and you think nobody sees. The whole universe sees.
The entire universe was looking, and the entire universe was like, well, what is she going to do now? Is she going to keep hiding, or is she going to ascend? So I chose to ascend, and I chose to do it publicly. And, I don't care what falls out of my mouth now. I will have that experience and know that I can ascend any kind of bodily kind of thing that comes in my life, and embarrassed about this. Even when I thought about the embarrassment with Jada and her hair falling out, I mean, you know, she had beautiful hair, and you know, she came out publicly with her bald head, not ashamed. However, the energy behind it was that there was some shame because of the whole slapping thing. You know, I saw so much transfer of energy. This one picked it up. So I'm like, no, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And at some point, the universe is going to require, if we put our hands up and say, we're going to do this work, the universe is going to require that we do it. And we don't get to pick the form that it happens in. We don't get to pick the nice, cute way. There's no cute, I don't know. Maybe you all have a cute way to ascend. However, the way my stuff is set up, there's no cute way for me to do these things. And so I have to constantly push myself to get out of the comfort zone, to get out of the rules and regulations I've made up for myself and people around me, because, you know, they got to do what I say. Get out of that and just be and allow. And you don't get to do that if I'm still, no, there's this right way and wrong way to do things. I just allow. And the more I allow things to unfold, yeah, I get upset. Yeah, I get mad, I have a little temper. I was like, wow, I'm pretending, I'm lying. I'm like, nothing happened. Yeah, that thing affected you. That slapping thing did affect you. And so 100% go, you know, meditation is the thing for me that helps me to see myself. And that shadow work is so important. And, you know, it's part of my Galactic Signature. I don't judge the dark. I don't judge the light. I just see what is, because that's who I am. And the more I can do that, the more I can be of service to people. Because, of course, my Galactic Signature is, so I'm on the electric tone of service. And so I'm here to serve. I'm here to ascend. I'm here to serve. And I'm not here to be a wounded healer. I'm not here to help people, and I can't help myself. You know, in my profession, like I said, I train clinicians, and most of these people were messed up. They were terrible from A Course in Miracles law perspective. They had no business bothering with anybody else's lives. However, I knew that was in my face to show me that that's not what I want. I do not want to be someone who can't even decode themselves and figure out what's going on so that there's a course of action based on law and based on lessons. So I don't really look at anything that's happening to me as a problem. I look at it, it's happening for me. Where's the lesson in this? Where's the law? Come on, higher self. You said we were going to do this work. Show me. And so that's how I do this thing. And it's not always pretty. It's not always easy, but it's effective. I'm complete.
You know, as I reflect on what you're sharing, Queen Hadassah, spirit will out you, family.
Oh, yes.
Right? Is that pretty much what happened? Like, I'm fine, I'm good. Spirit has outed my ass so many times, so spirit outed you, and you took it on.
I sure did. You know, here I am traveling the world with Reverend Dow and the crew, and life is looking good. People are like, how did she get to do all this stuff? And in the height of everything going great, this tooth falls out of my mouth, and I was like, what is going on? Why me? Yeah, because I put my hand up and said, I want to do this work. And so I don't get to judge it. It's the curriculum, it's the content that is in front of me, and therefore I don't have to wonder what I need to do. It's right in front of me. You know, stop hiding, stop being ashamed, stop lying. You're just lying. You're just pretending. And so, yeah, Spirit brought it all out, and I just, with your guidance and your support and the support of my sisters, of course. So I believe we were in a lightning circle, I think, or something we were doing.
Yeah.
I just did it, and it's there. And so that's where I do my healing. I make a video and tell the world what's going on with me. I'm complete.
And they were asking where can they see this video, because some people are not on Facebook that are on YouTube. It is Dr. B on the Beach. That's the name of your YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's called The Health Connection. So even if you go to YouTube and put Dr. B on the Beach or The Health Connection, it'll pop up.
Okay, excellent. And family, I do want to make this distinction. Don't think that if you talk to Reverend Val and she tells you, oh, you need to make a video about it because you need to make a video about everything. No, it's that in the moment something comes forward, oh, write a book, oh, make a video. Inspiration tells us what to do with that thing. Now, if we didn't have YouTube and we didn't have videos, please look at the underlying assignment from source and look at the tools we have at our disposal. If you were living in Jesus' time, you would have just stood up in the group and told the people what was going on with you. Like a lot of people did, they stood up and said, hey, I got this, I got that, can you help me? If you were in medieval times, you might have went to town square and started talking to people. You wouldn't have made a video back then. It's not about a video. It's not about a book. It's about freeing ourselves in our mind. So the very thing that we're afraid to do, okay, public is a video. Public is telling the people in your life what's really going on with you. Public is put it in a book. Do you think it was comfortable to come out as a Christian witch on October 22nd of 2011? Do you think it was comfortable to get that huge backlash of you're going to hell? Now I kind of laugh at it, because I'm in a different place with it now. Do you think it's comfortable to come out publicly? Do you think it was comfortable for my brother to tell us that he was gay? And I was like, what else is new? Like Tyler Perry had it on one point in Homecoming for Black families. I don't know if all families operate like this. I only know the Black family experience because that was the experience I grew up in. And in the family who's gay, and you know that they're not talking about it, and you also know they're probably suffering. Because why? They want to please us. And what Tyler Perry was saying is don't try to please us. Because when he came out, they were like, and what else is new? Finally said it. They stopped stifling yourself. So all these things that we think our own secret little shames and our own little journey, and no one knows about this. I promise you, Mama Ia said it best. You are only as sick as your secrets. I'm like, hey, because I got a lot of secrets. I got stuff I don't want people to know about me. That's why the mighty souls who can do public healing to save us all. Because let me tell you, I sat down and I looked at that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and Chris Rock thing. I sliced that thing 50 ways to Sunday. Like, how is this me, Spirit? Tell me. It was all me. It was all for me. And these souls played it out for all of us.
That's what I did yesterday.
Really?
After I watched your video, I was like, now I need to go in meditation because there's something going on. And I was like, yeah. I was the slapper. I was the slappy. I was the onlooker. I did all those things. Yeah, Rev, go ahead.
Woo! And isn't that so delicious? Because when you are at that level of self, this is all lesson one in the course of in mystery school. Lesson one is 2 words that we still have not been able to do fully. Know thyself, because we're still in the body. I still haven't done it fully. Lesson 1 in the mystery school. If you are not in the mystery school, get in. It's called Ascension. Go to ValerieLove.com. Click on Ascension. You're going to get all 40 lessons. You're going to be in the mystery school, and you're going to be in a membership that is getting better and better every day, basically. ValerieLove.com. Get yourself in Ascension. Lesson 1 in the mystery school is know thyself. So you know what I love about it, Queen Hadassah? I love that we're getting these lessons by watching and being super aware that way, and get the lesson this way. That way you don't, right? What's the alternative? You're going to learn the lesson anyway. What's the alternative? I pop off on somebody and now I got a couple of days sitting in jail? Or what else could I do?
Well, I'm not sure because, everything is possible from the Brahms to the Course of Miracles. If it's possible. I'm not sure. I don't know what I would do. Interesting. I have to think about that.
Mm-hmm. This is all for self. Do not get on the internet. If you're a master, you will not have any commentary on anyone else's life. You simply won't. Because you know that your only job is your own consciousness. And you will say, what is in this for me, Spirit? What is in this for me? Will Smith cannot help you in your life. He can't create anything in your life. He can't change your mind. He can't change your emotions. So why are you looking at him? Chris Rock cannot do any creating in your life. None whatsoever. So why are you looking at him? Jada Pinkett Smith, I always felt she was extremely beautiful, and I don't thought she was beautiful with hair or without hair. She's a beautiful person. Her beauty emanates from within. Her beauty is not from hair. Beauty is beyond hair. Beauty is beyond the third dimension. Beauty is beyond the temporal. Why are you looking at the players in the game when we ought to be looking at how does this apply to me? What am I seeing for me? What am I seeing? Because what I'm seeing is my perception and it came from my mind. And that's deep. Spirit gave us a smorgasbord. I'm telling you, every one of these 88 lessons was in Sunday night in 15 seconds. Get up, slap, sit back down, cuss somebody out. In that, I don't know, it couldn't have been more than 15, 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, maybe not even a whole minute. Spirit gave you all of the lessons in A Course in Miracles in 1 minute. And you wonder why we're talking about it. Look at it. This is like the opportunity of a lifetime to ascend and transcend and grow and transform if you get the message and you're not looking on the third dimension like masters do, spiritual gangsters. Who's up next?
Let's see, we have the mods up here. No one has raised their hands to come on. Morning. Oh, hey, Queen.
Yeah, morning, Queen Vashti.
Well, I really don't have anything to chime in about the Will Smith, Chris Rock exchange because I have no idea. I don't know how I keep finding myself in these positions where I didn't know anything about it until someone asked me about it. And I was like, well, I don't know what happened. And that's when I was told about what happened. So this has happened to me a few times, within our group. And later on, I find out that something went down and I didn't have a clue. It wasn't, I didn't witness it. It wasn't shown to me. So I guess I know it's for me because I'm kind of a part of the conversation, but it didn't show up in front of me. So I guess my question is, I'm wondering, my consciousness, it just didn't show it to me. Help me out with this one, Coach.
I love that. I love that question. It's such a good question. And here's the deal. It's in front of you now.
It's in front of me now.
Right? Yeah. Anything in front of me, oh, I'm leaning in. I'm looking at that shit.
Yeah.
Anything, if however it came in front of you. Because I wasn't watching the Oscars. I don't watch the Oscars. We can't look, that's again the story level. I don't watch the Oscars. I don't have a TV. I don't know any of these people. That's the story level. On supreme levels, Spirit put it in front of you for a reason. It put it on all our plates. Ooh, what's on my plate? Spinach, broccoli, carrots, guacamole, eat up. Okay, it's on my plate. It's in front of me. That's how Spirit works. You look at what's in front of you. You never have to go looking for things. Trust me, everything's gonna come to you. Didn't it come to all of us? I wasn't watching it. My daughter sent a text, OMG, to the group text, me and my kids. OMG, y'all gotta go look at this right now. That's how I found out about it.
Okay.
What are you hearing?
Well, I'm hearing that I have been every person that was in there. I've been Jada. I've been Will. I've not quite been. I didn't quite been Will, but I've been Chris. Now I think I have not the actual, act of hitting someone, but I blasted a few people. So it's in me. I blasted the bill collector the other day. So yeah, it's present. That side. So yeah, I do need to sit down and examine this in full scope, because I know that I have a shadow side. And I don't always explore it, and I don't explore it because I guess I'm not happy about it, about what that side is capable of. I don't even know the extent of how far that side will go. I thought about things that I would like to do. And then I'm like, yeah, that's just too much. You're going too far. So, I'm just going to examine it. I'm going to sit with it, and I'm going to examine it and see where this takes me so we can clean this up.
And yesterday we were in the room, and it was about 3-hour discussion about it. And then after that 3-hour discussion, I knew we didn't have it. Spirit gave me the inspiration. Here's what you want to tell you, what you want to say. Really, you're telling yourself. Here's how you want to look at this. Here's how you want to unpack it. Like Spirit gave us the gift, then it showed me how to unwrap the gift. It was a gift. If you're a spiritual seeker, you ought to make a study of Sunday night, not the drama. Drop the drama. Doesn't the chorus keep telling us go beyond the third dimension? That's all clouds and mists. Go beyond the slap. Please, family. How many millions of people, 68 million people watched the video. Here's the slap in real time, uncensored, unedited. I saw something like that pass me yesterday, 68 million views. Go past that. It's not about that. Spirit gave us a gift on Sunday night, a supreme gift that if you're paying attention, what's going on in my consciousness? It's giving you a know thyself moment. What is going on? I don't pass up moments like that. They're too important. Something big just happened on the planet. Do you really think we ought to be passing that up? But I hear people saying, I don't want to talk about it. Why are we even talking about them? Their lives don't have nothing to do with me. Don't be a dumbass. You're in A Course in Miracles. You asked to see. Didn't you say, above all else, I want to see? Isn't that what you said? Did all of us say that? Did all of us say that? Mons, do we all say, above all else, I want to see? Did we all say that?
Yes. I know I said it.
I said it. And the universe said, okay, here's what's in your shadow. Why would I want to look at it? It's super uncomfortable. Oh, okay. Wow. My mouth gets out of control. My mouth just got out of control the other day, like Chris Rock. My mouth just got out of control the other day. I had to do so ho'oponopono on myself and apologize to other people. Was that the first time I ever had to apologize to other people because my mouth got out of control? No, okay, my mouth is out of control. That's one of the lessons. Number 2, I go off sometimes. Yeah, I slap myself. I slap other people. Okay, I'm a slapper. I'm a provoker. I'm a provocateur, and I'm a slapper. Okay, and Jada, oh yeah, I'm having an experience that's really painful. Okay, I'm in hurt. Whatever I'm seeing is my lesson. How come you don't take the lessons from other people so you don't have to live that shit? And you can take the opportunity to clear out all the trash in your shadow that you are now able to access. Let's talk about how healing works. You cannot clear your whole mind at once. Spirit breaks off a chunk of it and brings it up and puts it on your plate when you're ready, willing, and able to handle it. When you have the tools, you have the community, you have A Course in Miracles, you're going to see a lot of stuff popping off this year because now you have the wherewithal, the resources within, and the people around you to do it. It wouldn't have shown us to us last year at the 93rd Oscars. Why did it happen at the 94th Oscars? There's perfect timing in this whole universe, this whole thing. And maybe it wasn't orchestrated on third dimensional realms. It was certainly orchestrated by heaven. Here's a healing opportunity that they'll all have. Did God make somebody do that? No, don't misconstrue my words. It's an opportunity. It happened. And now what do we learn? All things are lessons God would have me learn. And this stuff came to all our doorstep. Everybody got the knock on the door. Here you go. Here's what's on your plate, the slap. Oh, wow. I wasn't even watching the Oscars. Yeah, but you still got the slap on your plate. You look at your plate, it says the slap. Okay, maybe I ought to look at the slap. Look at it. That's what spiritual gangsters do. We look at shit like, oh, the slap. This is for me. Not in a guilt way, in an awareness way. Aha, I'm being shown a great secret by the universe. Let me pay attention. Is this helpful, family?
Was that a question, Rev?
Maybe rhetorical.
OMG.
What, like what's coming up, family? Because that's the kind of discussions that we have here in the mornings.
Well, I know for me, I can't live in secrets anymore. I can't live in denial. You know, my life is kind of public. Being a Christian doesn't, it adds to the flavor of what I do, and being real and coming into the light of who I really am and sharing that with the world. So there is really no process in this whole thing. I make it a process. I just know what I can and can't live with anymore in my soul and my spirit. You know, my higher self. When I said, look, take over. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. You obviously know. I'm relying on you. Come on, higher self, and we have these talks every day. So the more these adverse things pop up, the more I've learned to dig into myself, dig into my consciousness. Why would this even be in my consciousness? And then understanding that I'm not in it alone. And so it really helps, just do the work. I don't know what's going on. I don't know the meaning of anything. I just know what's in front of me right now. And it's really unsettling to know that, gosh, there's just this ugly side of me and I really don't want to look at it. I don't know what to do. I'm just here. And taking myself on. So that's all I know what to do, is really to understand myself. Know thyself, as you said. First lesson in the mystery school. Know thyself.
And you know what's fascinating, Queen Hadassah? People read the first lesson in the mystery school. Okay, what's next? What's next class?
Exactly. We've been on this lesson since day one.
Since 2018, October 1st, 2018, when the mystery school opened in this lifetime. And we're going to still be on it for years. But people will read, know thyself. Okay, I did that lesson. Okay, what's next? Okay, what's lesson 2? Oh, where's lessons 3 through 9? Or where's lessons 10 through 18? Wow. That's how you want to do your soul? Wow. Fascinating.
I mean, every time we had mystery school, we started from the beginning. And we went. Like,
every time.
I'm like, why are we doing this again? And I was like, why? We did this already. Now I understand why we start from the beginning and keep going
every time,
forward, every single time, because those lessons in the beginning are critical. If you can't even get that first lesson in you and understand that it's a lifelong lesson, and we're eternal beings, we're going to continue to have this unfolding. There's only so much going to be that will be revealed to us in this lifetime, and then the next one and the next one. We keep going. And my whole thing is, I'm setting myself up in this lifetime so that I don't bring in all these grievances in the next one. The only reason why I'm dealing with these grievances now is because I didn't take care of it the last lifetime. So I'm very optimistic about everything in the future, in this growth, in this development, this ascension. I must remain optimistic about it because we're going somewhere. We're going to the light. We're not doing this for nothing. We're doing this for a reason. So, yeah, I'm good.
You know what I think to Queen Hadassah and family, everyone who's been in the mystery school from October 1st, 2018, and we have founding members of the mystery school right here on stage, from Coach Michelle, Queen Hadassah, Queen Vashti. Do you know they were all in that room when the mystery school was born? Do you know, I think we get confused. I think we hear the word school and we go straight to what we know about school. Now in school, they give you a lesson. Here's the lesson. They make you memorize shit that's useless for your real life. You don't have to prove anything other than that you can put it on a test, which is pretty much memory. And then when you put it on a test, and you memorize, you could have written it in the palm of your hand like we used to do. Hope you don't sweat, put it on a little piece of paper, stick it somewhere, look down. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Now, how many ways do we find to cheat? And then you pass the test and check, they pass you on. That's not this. That is not a mystery school. A mystery school is I get a lesson, I meditate on it, I do it, I get the lesson, now I'm gonna get the test in my real life and I have to demonstrate this lesson. Y'all are asking for lessons 10 to 18. You haven't even demonstrated lesson 1. That's how a mystery school works. But don't worry, I'm going to work with you for many years. Beloved, did you demonstrate lesson 1? No, because you're looking at the slap like they acting crazy. Wow. You don't even have lesson 1. I'm acting crazy. Yeah.
So, yesterday I called Dr. Jada and I was upset about something that I saw and I didn't like. And I'm telling her what's, Dr. Jada doesn't tolerate story. And so I have to speak to her in a special kind of, well, not special, but in an elevated kind of way. And I said, I don't like this. I don't like what happened. And she said, well, how else would you have gotten this lesson? And I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes you have to pay the price to get these lessons. And for me, I said, I want my lessons gently. This one, although this slapping thing didn't happen to me physically, it's happening to me. And I'm like, I don't like what's happening. You don't always have to like it, but how else would you get the lessons? That's my question. And that was her response to me. So sometimes you may not like the things that are happening, but they're happening for you. So you can get a lesson if you can just see above the third dimension foolishness. There's something greater to learn. There's something greater that your soul, your spirit is calling you to have the consciousness of. And this little situation here, and we have class tonight, so we're gonna, dig into a lot of stuff. It's really, how else would I have gotten this lesson? How else? And so I'm embracing it. I don't like it. And I told her that. She said, that's okay. However, my willingness, because that's the only thing she talks about. Are you willing to see things a different way? Are you willing to look at yourself and correct? And I'm like, yes. So that's the work I'm going to be digging into tonight. Understanding, can I say understanding? But just really going through my mind and aligning with what is God, what is God and what is not God, and that's in this whole situation, because I don't want to feel these wild emotions. I want to understand myself. And that's my mastery step in this whole thing. I need to understand myself in this so that I don't become a victim of it. I don't victimize other people, and I can ascend from this level of anger and violence and hatred and whatever it is, ascend from it and understand it. Understand it's always going to be in all of mine. Everything is in there. However, I don't have to be crippled by it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. I'm good. I'm complete.
Mm-hmm. And this is really the more gentle way of doing your shadow work. Just taking the information, like Dr. Jiva says, the information is in front of you. Well, what's my information in this? And everyone's going to have a different information. How do you know what you're seeing? You do exactly what Mama Nika said. So let's go to the comments on YouTube. Mama Nika says, I cried when I saw it. Aha, well, I have something. I'm crying. This is beautiful, Mama Nika. I was definitely all involved, not physically slapping, but this mouth can be reckless. Mine too. A victim from past abuse. Mine too. And an observer of abuse. Look how critical this is. An observer of abuse from my mom and other family members. So here I am seeing a family member abusing. See, it's bringing up all that childhood stuff too. Inner child can be healed just by, and I'm not telling you to go back and watch it. Who the fuck cares? Don't go watch it. I didn't go watch it. I saw the part, the little clips here and there, and they're making memes about it and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't have the desire to go watch, study the video, who did what, who did that. If you want to do that and you're doing it from the higher perspective of, let me see what I'm seeing. Oh, I'm seeing hurt. Okay, let me write that down. Oh, I'm seeing pain. Okay, let me write that down. Oh, I'm seeing inner child come out. Okay, let me write that. Oh, I'm seeing a tantrum. Okay, let me write that down. Do you understand that what you seeing have nothing to do with Will Smith? Billions of people were seeing it. Do you know billions of people were seeing billions of different things? What were you seeing? What was I seeing? What was Mama Nika seeing? What was Queen Vashti seeing? Do you realize we were all seeing something different, watching the same thing? Why? Because your seeing comes from inside your mind. And God didn't see anything wrong with anyone at all. We would be remiss if we did not read Will Smith's apology, which I do follow him on Instagram. I freaking love Will Smith. I freaking love what he stands for. I freaking love how he rolls. He's super hilarious. He's a lot of fun. I freaking love Will Smith. So we're going to go to Will Smith because yesterday he posted a public apology. And I'm going to go to it right now and read it to you because it said everything that needed to be said. Will Smith, here we go. Here is his public apology. Here is his Instagram. If you follow him on Instagram, here is his public apology. So right after him and Jada were getting ready for the Oscars, in this post, you see him now apologizing. And this what the post said. It's a long post. It has, well, I wouldn't say a long post. It has two parts to it. Okay? It says, violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will. Props. Nothing but props. For me, nothing but props. Why? Because what did Dr. G would say was the mark of a master, the speed of correction. And what does the Course say when we make a mistake? The Course doesn't believe in sin. The Course doesn't teach sin, judgment. And I saw so much sin and judgment. I'm like, wow, my mind is really judgmental. Because I saw so many people judging. He should know better. That shouldn't happen. Where was the security? This shoulda. I was like, damn, I'm judgmental. I go, man, I'm judgmental. The Course doesn't believe in sin. A murderer did not sin. A murderer made a mistake. And I know what you might say, but they premeditated. Yeah, they made a mistake in their mind and then they carried it out. The Course doesn't teach sin. It teaches we are in soul lessons. We make mistakes. Mistakes do not require punishment. Mistakes require correction. Correct. There's no damnation. There's no hell. There's no eternal torment. You were the Son of God. You were a divine being slapped another divine being. Both Chris and Will and Jada are divine beings. Look at the divinity, forgive everything else. There's something else that was coming to me. Thank you, Spirit, a few minutes ago. You may say, no, these things are too horrible. I don't want to forgive all these things, as Queen Hadassah was speaking. Between 5 of us, me, or 4 of us that I know of for sure. Or let's include Zaire-ness. Between me, Harmony, Queen Vashti, Queen Hadassah, and Zaire. Between the 5 of us, we have been in fights, physical fights. We have been in abuse. We have been at gunpoint. We have been molested as children, raped. Between just the 5 of us. Just take the experiences of just the 5 of us. How much do you think of that is going all around the world? Harmony told you about her experiences. We've been homeless. We've been cussed at. We've been divorced. We've been beaten. 2 of us been at gunpoint. I've been at gunpoint and Queen Vashti been at gunpoint. And Queen Vashti, she was better than me because she said, just take me. Because if you're going to keep abusing me, just take me. Do you think...
I had plenty guns and knives pulled on me. Plenty.
So I don't know who you think is telling you this stuff. People that never been through shit. We're just not going to talk about the story and we're not going to talk about it and that like it didn't help us. We're not. So you can't come in here with any excuse, but I was raped, you don't understand. Okay, well, these people were raped as well. Well, I was molested as a child repeatedly. Well, this person was molested as a child repeatedly as well by a family member. Well, I was divorced. I was heartbroken. They left me. They abandoned me. My daddy left when I was born. Before I was born, according to the story, I don't know about the story. He's here now, Edward Diaz. God bless you. And I grew up with an alcoholic family. I was in an abusive relationship. Well, 1, 2, 3 was in an abusive relationship. Well, I was emotionally abused. I was physically abused. Well, this one got her tooth knocked out, and this one got called out of her name, and this one had fights. I had fights in my family, me and my husband and my kids scuffling on the floor at Thanksgiving at the neighbor's house. Fighting. Christ said it. You without sin cast the first stone. Committed adultery and had adultery committed on me. You who is without sin cast the first stone. He looked around. Get this bitch. We caught her in the bed. We caught her in the bed with a man. Throw her in the middle of the floor. Look at her. Jaming, judging and shaming. That's what humans like to do. We like to judge and shame. Right? Where's the love and the compassion? Automatic love and compassion. And she was there in the middle. And she looked at Christ and he picked her up. He said, oh, you want to stone her? Yeah. Okay. Well, the one that ain't got nothing dirty in your house, you pick up the first stone. My house is a little dirty because I was sleeping with so and so last week. My house is dirty because I was just lied on my paperwork. Oh, my house is a little dirty because I just stole some pens and some supplies from my job. My house is a little dirty because I was just yelling at my kids last night like crazy. I went off. My house is dirty because I was lusting after somebody's husband, wife, whatever. But you're going to sit here and act like your house is not dirty and you're going to talk about everybody else on TV. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. Who's next? You're not ready yet. You don't want.
We have Dia.
You don't want us in. Come on, God morning.
God morning.
I wanted to take it to a place of celebration for me, because when I looked at the lessons that we were reviewing after what happened the other day, the light has come and I am under no laws but God. I was celebrating because I thought about what I learned from Joe Vitale. Once I get the lesson, I no longer need the experience. And when you brought out the point of, would you rather go through the lesson yourself or be an observer of the lesson and still get it? And I was doing my happy dance because I was like, I get it, I get it, I get it. And now we can move on in peace because I finally get it. And I was grateful to have been in this group when that situation happened, because when I think about my life prior to coming into ACIM this year, we would have been sitting around, me and my family, discussing it from a point of what you said, judgment, shame, condemnation, all of those things. We would have just been doing that from here to eternity. But because I'm here with you all, I was able to, number one, see things differently. And number two, be in a place where we can discuss it from an elevated level and not be the only one in the room thinking of it from a Christ perspective. And I'm glad to be here and be a part of that, so that we do get the lesson and that we don't have to keep repeating it, whether we had it physically done to us or just observed it. And so I'm celebrating. The light has come and the light is shining so bright that I see everything from every perspective, and I know how to move forward because I know that if the peace begins in me. All I have to do is focus on me. Before I would have been focusing on what everybody else should. But now I know what I have to do. And there's all my life I have gotten lessons, but I never understood, and I never had people to help me sort it out in a positive way, so that I understand, they understand, and we all move forward with understanding and wisdom and knowledge to do better. My dad always taught me, once you know better, you do better. But I always felt like, if I don't understand what I did wrong, how am I going to do better? But here is the situation where I not only understand it, but I have tools that I can use for my emotional and my mental, as well as my physical being, to help me move forward positively in peace. And so I'm able to let that go and move forward and not stay stuck in it like I used to. And I'm complete.
Powerful. That if we were hanging with our old peeps, we would have been gossiping about this till the cows come home. Now we're using this to ascend. Remember, the Course told us that you are going to use your perception, that the Holy Spirit is using your perception to help you ascend. Did we all catch that? Did we catch that? I want to know, did we catch that?
Yes, we have to allow, we have to be willing. I definitely caught that.
Yes, I agree.
Beautiful, beautiful. We're getting there, family. We're getting there. All we got to do is keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. And you can't do this work by yourself. If you think you can do this work by yourself, good luck. You're not ready yet. Just come here every morning and keep doing a course and keep meditating. One day you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, I can't do this by myself. Trust me, I get right up under community. Why do you think I'm a place for community? I'm in community. I talk community. I bring the community together. I'm about community. Because by yourself, you would get plucked off. You go with your crazy family for about 10 minutes, you would be down, swirling real low, fast. We need a community of people who are ascending. So we're all running, and you can catch the gust. It's the flock. You can catch it. With regard to lies, I keep telling y'all the first thing Reverend Dr. Yana Van Sant said to me the first day she saw my face in front of her. She said, "You're a liar." First 3 words. It wasn't hello, hi, beloved. You're a liar. She looked at me and I had told my bullshit story. And she looked at me, she said, "You're a liar." I was like, lying. Gorgeous nails. Now I get manicures, I take care of my nails. It's not a problem if I don't have big, long $200 nails. It's not about the nails. Gorgeous long locks. The locks were so perfect. Oh, this expensive makeup from MAC. I don't know if Sephora was around back then. Beautiful clothes. Oh, these clothes so put together. Expensive purse. You can't even set it on the floor. Shoes. Oh, fly shoes. You the flyest bitch in the room? You the brokest bitch in the room. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about consciousness. Because why are you so perfectly put together? It took a lot of effort to do that. Now it's effortless. And guess what? If I have on makeup, I have on makeup. If I got on lashes, I got on lashes. If I don't, I don't. I'm going to give you this story anyway. I don't care where I am, what I'm wearing, what ain't about the earrings, none of that. I like all that shit. It's fun. It's not about that. It's fun. It's icing on the cake. You think I'm going to do this or not do this based on if I have earrings on a new outfit or designer shoes or a fabulous place to do it? Where did I do these videos? In hotel rooms when I was fucking homeless? Let's be real, family. Come out your lies. Or just let spirit out you, which won't be pretty. I can guarantee you that. Out in my ass. And I thought I was so perfectly put together. How did she detect? Because it's bullshit. People fucking know you're in bullshit. Tell the truth. Who's next?
Well, I told you I had this dream the other day. I'm not going to tell you the dream, but I want to say that I got up to do my meditation and I did some chants. This was about 3 or so. And I was so tired. I was just so drained. So, I'm doing my chants. And before, I don't know what made me, it was my soul. I didn't know what made me say it. Out of my mouth, I said, above all else, I want to see. Above all else, I want to see clearly. And literally, I was asleep again. That's when I had this amazing dream. And when I woke up, I was like, man, that was something. And then I heard Spirit say, you're sick because you got secrets.
Wait a minute, say that again.
Spirit said, you're sick because you have secrets.
You have,
Literally, you just said that earlier.
Oh my God.
Spirit told me that a few days ago when I had this dream and I said, above all else, I want to see. Above all else, I want to see clearly. And this isn't with my conscious mind. I was I wasn't in my mind because I was so tired. I was like, I'm just so tired, but at least I could try to do some chanting and meditation, and then I can go back to sleep for a few minutes. And I did that, and when I woke up, the dream was so vivid, like I can literally still remember it, and you were there. And Spirit said, you're sick because you have secrets. And I said, I knew it was precise because the dream was about a secret. And which is not a secret anymore, but because I outed, well, Spirit outed me, but I comped it to it about a year or so ago. And but it let me know that the secrets that I've been holding, whether they're trying to protect someone or protect myself, whatever the case may be. And it let me know that as I start releasing these secrets, whether in writing or whoever, the pertinent people that it needs to be revealed to, I won't be sick anymore. And that was amazing that you had said that to me. You had said that earlier in this conversation. I think you said Mama Ia said something to that effect. What the secrets can do to us. I hope y'all are still with me because I'm driving. I'm in the tunnel.
Oh yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
And I knew that, I have to take action on this, but when you were just speaking and you're saying about the flyest person in the room and all that stuff, and, I went through a great stripping. To where, I always had fabulous shoes. Like, that was the main thing that people always looked at because they already knew how I was coming, and there was no way I was going to wear the same pair twice. So they automatically still do it at that time. But I went through a great stripping where I didn't care about any of it. And sometimes I looked at myself the other day. I was like, Katina, why are you in these streets like this? Because it didn't matter, in the grand scheme of things. But I was hiding all those secrets. This is my relevance to it. I was fly as hell, and nothing out of place. But I had so many secrets. And as you're trying to cover those secrets, you don't want the people to really see you, so you blitz them, and you look fabulous. I'm pretty sure there were many times I didn't have a dime in my pocket, but I was fabulous on the outside, and no one knew the hurt that I was hiding underneath all that so-called fabulousness. And I believe that's why I went through this great stripping, the degree that I went, that it was, because it had to be revealed. Truly what I was experiencing and what was going on with me. There was no more hiding, and you just have to surrender. And I collapsed one day in my bathroom because I was like, I'm so tired. I'm just so tired, and I just called out to, God, my higher self, and was like, I need help. I really need help because I'm tired and I can't do it anymore, and I'm just surrendering at this point. And that's just what came to my mind when I had, heard what you were just saying, and Mama Ia had said to you. I mean, the first words you said to me was powerful. I'm glad you didn't say, that's my fire, although I was. I don't know how I would have took that. But, that's my share. Like, it just was, Spirit just revealed it to me. You're sick because you have secrets.
Okay, so confession is good for the soul, if not for the reputation. Here's my secrets. I heard it while I was speaking. All of my secrets, I have 3 secrets. All of my secrets are financial because I'm in the money school. 1, I'm angry about child support. I could have paid it off a long time ago. So I pay it monthly with like a couple of $100s a month. I'm angry. I'm mad as hell. I could have paid that shit off a long time ago. I'm mad as hell that I got to pay child support, quote unquote. Do you see that this is a big story that's been going on in my head? That's why I'm in bondage in this area of my life. I'm mad because why I got to pay child support to a person that won $17 million in the lottery because I turned successful. Because while I kept working and you was chilling because you had money coming in. I didn't ask you for your money. I did ask for money, here and there. I need something for this. I need something for that. Basically, I kept working. I never said, oh, we won the lottery. That wasn't my consciousness. Every so often, I ask for money. Hey, can you help me out with this? Hey, can you help me out with that? I didn't have the consciousness, this is our money. I never did. I never had that consciousness. I had the consciousness, I kept working. I was working at American Express all along. I was working from can't see anymore. I always been working. I come from a working family. It's just in my bones. And now my creativity is my thing. And I love it so much. I do it even when I'm not looking for the money to make me do it. So I just kept going. And I was fueled not by ambition. I was not fueled by ambition. I was fueled by destiny. So I just kept going. I kept writing the books. I kept doing this. I kept creating. I kept going. And then when the money started coming in, they took me to court. She got money now. Get it? Okay, I got grievances. Do you see, family, how this stuff works? Okay, let me get rid of my grievances. Because grievances are keeping me in bondage, not them. Not them. So I had to get myself to the place where at first I was like, fuck it, I ain't paying it. It's like, oh, you fucking going to jail. You're going to lose your passport. You're going to lose all your privileges because you want to be angry. Okay, no, that's not the move. That's clearly not the move for a spiritual teacher. How the hell am I going to tell everybody get your life together? And so I've been with this thing. Oh, Ho'oponopono on it. I see the light in you, so fill in the blank. I had to do so much Ho'oponopono, not only on my former lover, my partner, the man I tremendously love, that is twin flame, and we agreed to do this for each other when we came here. I had to pour so much Ho'oponopono on Lindsay, who was his attorney. And I got to tell you something about Lindsay. She was always so wonderful to me. She was always so this was not one of those kinds of attorneys that was mean, vindictive. She was not. She was not mean. She was not vindictive. She did not have anything against me at all. She did not. And I had something against her. I made that up in my own mind. So that's one of my grievances. And you know what? Finally, I didn't force myself to do, because when you see that you're in a process and spirit is, when you're in your process, you're going to get grace for your process. They're not going to just come grab you right away and throw you in jail or whatever. But you better be on your shit cleaning this up. Now, while you're cleaning it up, you're going to have grace. The universe is going to be like, okay, she cleaning this shit up. If you're not cleaning it up, they about to come get your ass and toss you in somewhere. Because you don't want to clean up your mess. I got to clean up my mess. I got to clean it up. So as I was in it, it was hard for me to force myself to do it. So you know what I did? I ain't got it. I took myself into not having money after having money just so I wouldn't have to pay it. Well, who are you hurting? You hurting yourself. Okay, well, that's not the move either. I do like having money better than not having. I can put all my money in Bitcoin. Nobody will know. Stop it. That's a lie. Okay, I can't do that either. All right. And I'm watching myself going through these phases, and I keep pouring love on it. I keep pouring love on it. Keep doing Ho'oponopono on it. Keep looking at it from the Christ consciousness. And eventually, something clicked. And I said, I'm no longer going to do this to myself. And I began paying it every month. And do you know what? By like the second or third month, I was getting happy. I was like, ooh, I was getting happy. My mind changed. My mind changed. One of my other secrets in mystery school, this is the mystery school. It's the mystery school of your life. So family, if you have shit to clean up, this is your warning. Clean up your secrets. Other one is unpaid stuff, unpaid debts. Let me go back and pay everything. Unpaid debts. And you have the money. You can go, you can seek those people out, and you can pay them. That's what I'm doing. I'm just paying off everything. Unpaid debts. Oh, unpaid debts. What is debt? Debt is judgment. Debt is guilt. That's what debt is. Guilt, judgment, shame. That's how the bill collectors can be so good at their job, because they use your own shame against you. Now, when they would call me when my house was going into foreclosure and I really didn't have the money and I really didn't have shame about it, they would call me and they would be like, they would try to start with their and I'll be like, well, you know what, I'm with you. I really wish I had the money to pay you, because I sure would pay you right now. And I started having real conversations with people that were calling me years ago. And do you know, they were nice to me. They would be like, yeah, I know. Don't you think that the people that call people don't want to be calling people? And don't you think that they are not happy to be doing an unhappy job? So unpaid debts. And the third one is IRS. Oh, let me get this IRS stuff straight. Let me file all these taxes the appropriate way. Let me do this. Fuck taxes. No, don't fuck taxes. Pay taxes. Pay them smart. Clear it up. Clear your name. And be clean and free. Those are all my secrets are in my financial house. Cleaned up the relationship stuff. Had to go around, clean up the relationship stuff. Had to go, I made all these messes. Had to go around, clean up my body, clean up my food, clean up my mouth. I'm still working on cleaning up my mouth, because y'all know I cuss like a sailor sometimes. Clean up my skin. Clean up my cooch, the yoni. Had all kinds of stuff going on down there. Clean up the womb, had fibroids. Clean this shit up. That's your work. And you really got time to sit around and talk about Will Smith when your coochie is stinking. And you got fibroids in your womb and cysts on your and ovaries and endometriosis and fibromyalgia and can't walk and feet is hurting and teeth falling out and teeth getting knocked out and skin bad and going to the doctor. But you got time to talk about Chris Rock. Wow. Just wow. Okay, who's next?
We have RJ.
I'm Renise. Hi, this is Renise. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Renise. How you loving?
Wonderful, loving, wonderful. Thank you. This whole thing is so magical to me. The way that, you explain how it's separate for everyone. You know what I'm saying? The perception. And for me, so I started on this spiritual journey like something almost 5 years ago. And so I'm in the, as I am becoming every day, and growing. To me, Jada represented that self for me. Jada represented the self that I am at now, like, on a new journey, ascending, leaving, stripping, leaving behind things that no longer serve me. That, for me, that was Jada. Chris was my ego. And because Jada, she's doing that self of me doing good, ascending, and Chris was the ego going in something because Jada, I'm doing that, I'm doing well, I'm doing good. So the ego, Chris was the ego throwing in something, and it's not that bad, but it's enough to cause some silence because after he did this, after he was slapped or whatever, or said the joke that was slapped, he got really quiet. It was silence. And to me, that silence represented the moment of choice for the becoming me to decide, how am I going to respond, or am I going to respond to what the ego just said or did? And then Will represented the fully realized me, or the highly evolved me, that at a moment of watching the fully evolved me that seeing what the ego did and was like, I'm no longer taking this. I've gone through all of this, I've gone through all of that. No, this is not happening. I'm not going to allow you to beat me up anymore. It's over. And so then the part about the speech that he made, the first speech, not the one that you read, but the first speech he made at the Oscars, something that he said really, oh my goodness, I could just relate to it. When he said that God is calling on me to love people and to protect people. And when I heard that, it's like, I am the light of the world. I felt that like, that's what is happening with me. I can feel that. And, because to me, when he was saying that, I could feel the emotion in it. And, there was a lot of different ways that I could have took it. Like, I didn't think that he was saying it in a way to make anyone feel sorry for him. I felt it just because that's how I feel, that, the Creator or my higher self is calling on me to be the light of the world and to protect people. And I'm doing this, but I can do it because I'm letting grievances go. Love holds no grievances. And so, yes, I can be loving and kind. And I'm sorry for what I did, but I'm no longer just becoming. I am that I am. And one more thing I wanted to say that I really can relate to is the fact that, 9 times out of 10, I feel that he knew he was going to win that award. He knew it in his heart. He knew it. And I feel like it was because that was the newly evolved me, the fully realized me, newly though. It might not have been a newly, maybe not, but at that moment, fear came into play, and the emotions just overtook me, and I responded in a way that I can't even really remember doing it. It happened so fast, but I apologize. I'm sorry if I did that, but life goes on, and I'm complete. Thank you.
Renice, as you were speaking, I got a vision that what if Will Smith was the Holy Spirit slapping the ego into place? That is powerful.
Wow.
So you saw Will Smith as your ascended self, putting the ego in check.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, that's it. I've had enough. I'm not going back. I'm not dropping back down to your level. I'm moving on. I'm ascending even higher. This is it. Because I read something the guy said, this guy that I look at his video sometime, and he said, either you're going to become, I think I said this other thing, either you're going to become God or you're going to die trying.
Ooh, yes.
And I'm just, and I get that.
Yes.
Like, I feel that. Right now, I'm feeling that. Like, because I could go on and on for the rest of my life trying to be what I already am. So this thing is just so powerful. It has really done something to me on the inside. It really has.
You are so loved and appreciated for sharing that with me. That gave us a fresh perspective. Like, what if that's the Holy Spirit saying enough ego and shut it down? Because even after the slap, he wasn't done yet. He was like, did he just come? He was still talking.
Yes.
He was still talking. And then Will Smith was like, take my he's still keep my then it shut down like, oh, okay. Wow. That's the way it's
And then guess what else though? The fact that what you read, when he finally apologized to Chris, it's like the three coming together again. The three, they're back. They're actually, the whole thing made the oneness stronger.
Come on.
At the end of the day, it makes it stronger because nothing happens accidental, coincidentally. And so now, we're ready to move on up. Move on up. And it's like, and I no longer look at the will, or being to fully realize, no longer looking at the ego like in a bad way, but from an aspect of love, looking at it from love, and just coming together, integrating.
When you speak of the three, what if it was the Holy Trinity? God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit, which is God the Mother. God the Father, wow. God the Mother, and God the Holy Spirit. God the Father, God the Mother, and God the Son. What if it was that? What if Will was playing God the Father? What if Jada was playing God the Mother? And what if Chris was playing God the Son? And the Son got corrected by the Father? What if? Ha! Yes. You talk about turning the tables. What? Wow. Because didn't we learn early on in the course that I don't know what I'm looking at, that I need to ask, what am I looking at? I don't know what I'm looking at, because what I'm looking at, I made up in my mind already. Thank you for that, Renise, because that just spun the whole thing a whole nother way. Thank you. And now the three are... Thank you. And now the three are even stronger. What if they're even stronger in their divine connection than they were before it? Because that's how God works. Ooh. Who's next?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. And before Angel, I think Angel's going to wrap us up. We can close the hand raising. And please, everyone, share the room. Tap the little share button. I'm about to share it too. All right, Angel, wrap us up.
First of all, thank you for that perspective, Renee. That was mind-blowing real quick. I halfway forgot what I wanted to say. But this whole, above all else, I want to see, even though it's not the lesson for today, that lesson is one that I say frequently. And between with this whole Will and Jada thing and then your video last night, I realized I never really, like you said, I never really considered myself to be a violent person. However, my mouth is something, and I used to pride myself in the fact that I don't gotta hit you. I can make you feel this big without even hitting you. I just realized you are violent. As fuck. You hit your kids. You hurt people with your mouth, and yes, you are violent. You are violent as fuck. You are violent, and it just, I don't know. It just really was an eye-opening moment. And when Dia said, "You know better, you do better," it's I told Nadia in that moment, I'm in tears, and I'm like, "Babe, I am so sorry. Please forgive me," because I had her when I was 15. Wow. So I hit her a lot. I hit my baby a lot, and the older I got, I wasn't as physical with my kids, but I still would hit them. It's not, I can't even use the word spank appropriate, use that word anymore, because it's no, that's hitting. You hit your kids. And I was like, you know what, from right now, I'm never hitting my kids again. I can't, I'm not a violent person. I am love. I've always been happy, colorful, loving. I had to learn not be so naive, but I've always been love. And to really realize I was not love, that I really hurt people. I had so much hope, Pono, when to do was letters to write and burn, and all good things to do to release this because it was done. And now that I'm aware, it has to be fixed. And then I giggled after all those tears because I was like, my baby is King. That's his name. And I was like, King waited. I feel like this is my last child. I'm not having more kids. So it was like the last one, just like, I'm gonna wait until she get her shit together, because I'm not going down there with these shenanigans. Ain't nobody jabbing me. Ain't nobody doing none of that. And she ain't gonna be here, no be like, just wait. And now he's here. And it's like I'm growing into this person, a whole different type of mother. It's like I have one more chance, I feel like, to do this the right way, and for a being to be able to grow up without that damage that I received and that I dished out to the other ones. And now that the healing is being done, the cleaning is being done, that he does not have to experience. So thank you. Like, I can get my whole life in these classes, and I am complete.
You know, Angel, you reminded me of how I was when I was a parent, when I first began parenting. I passed on what I knew. If we were beaten, we think that's how we're supposed to do it until we grow. And so I used to beat my kids. I would beat them kids, and it's not okay. And as I grew, I didn't feel good when I was doing it. I hated it. But I thought that this
It made me cry.
Oh, I hated it.
I would be crying after I put my kids. I go in the other room and then just
cry. And when my mom used to say, this hurts me more than it hurts you, I was like, what you talking about? Because I'm over here dying. And you see, you dishing it out. That's what we got. So that's what we give until we heal it. And so my whole Ho'oponopono on myself, and by the time I had my third child, I was like, no, this is not the way. We're not doing this. And my husband, at the time, her father, I told him, you're never going to put your hands on her. And he was like, well, because he has a son. And so, him and the son be duking it out, because, some people want to make sons tough. Hey, I don't know. Anyway, that was part of the family paradigm. And I told him straight up, you're never touching her. And I had such a strong boundary for that when he was a person that used to have the blackout moments, and I was with someone that had blackout moments because I liked drama. So we went together perfectly because I want to rescue people. So we were a perfect match. You can't have a drama person without having a person that loves drama. And so we were both healing our shit, right? I've got my issues perfect match. And when I began to draw the boundaries, and I said, this will not happen. You will not. Now, no man in his life ever touch Kaisi, because I'm that bitch that will get out the crazy glue and glue your Johnson to the side of your thigh. I'm that crazy bitch while you sleep. I am that crazy bitch to put something in your food. I am. And I know myself. And I know that a slap would be mild compared to a Lorraine. I could have a Lorena Bobbitt moment. I could. If you don't know who Lorena Bobbitt is, she straight up chopped her man's thing off. The police had to go find it and pick it up out the street, and they tried to sew it back on, but it was a hopeless case. I recognize that lives in my shadow. I recognize her. I'm like, I'm that bitch that would put some crazy glue on a Johnson. Try to get that off. So the men that were around me were like, there's something crazy in there that I probably don't want to stir up. You know that crazy bitch? I think a lot of women have a crazy ass bitch inside of her. And you probably won't see her, she's dressed up nice on the first date. You might not see her on the first date, but like 3 years, 7 months, 19 days into it, somebody gonna go left and that bitch gonna go off. That was me, okay? So, do y'all know what I'm talking about? And you be looking for things like poison in the food. I mean, I have said to myself about my daughter when she was in her crazy years, teenage years, like, where could I hide the body? Like, that was a thought that came across my mind. So let's not pretend like we don't have all this stuff in the shadow. Let's not pretend. It's big pretense. As Spirit has given us the opportunity to really take yourself on, okay, let me get that crazy ass bitch and sit her down and say, crazy ass bitch, you can't chop people's things off. This is not love. Let me just forgive and let the crazy ass bitch melt to go away because she's not helping your life. The crazy ass bitch is not helping your life. She's not. So, or if you're not if you don't have the crazy ass bitch, you got a crazy ass dude in there that will go stomp in the yard, put on the Tim's what, and go stomping. We don't need to stomping. Okay? Just get to wailing. Like that's some people's first instincts. They just get to what? That's what a course is helping us to do. Recalibrate that, because that's like an instant reaction. It's like something we just jump into robotically without even thinking about it. And what the course is doing is giving us this meditation, it's giving us tapping, it's giving us the ascended prayers, it's giving us the miracle prayer, like Queen Vashti, it's giving us each other so that your automatic is peace, your automatic is love, your automatic is to pour love on something. So because I bought my son and my daughter, my son is my oldest, because I brought them up in violence. I mean, we were loving people, yet we had violent streaks. And we get to acknowledge that. You are love, and you have some violent streaks in the shadow. Deal with it. So when I was the one that taught my son violence. And so now my son, he stomped a couple of people. There was this one dude that he was like, that's not how it is, and he was, they was thinking they were disrespected. My son said, we just want to step outside. They went outside and like somebody said in the room the other day, at least they didn't pull out guns. They did it the old fashioned way. We just gonna duke it out. Right? And they duked it out. And ever since that day, that dude, mad props and mad respect between him and my son. Like, they have a different relationship now. It's a really good relationship. They're really cool. And so we're not saying that you were supposed to do that. You're not. We're not saying that that's how you solve things. That's not how you solve things. You don't solve things with your hands. You solve things with your consciousness. When you do go to make a mistake and you solve something with your hands, please learn the lessons and change. That's all Will did. Learn the lessons and change. The universe gives you unlimited do-overs. Galactic Signature.
Yes, so thank you, Rev. Thank you for the review of this lesson. Thank you for everyone who came up on stage to share, and everyone in the room on Clubhouse, YouTube, Facebook, wherever we are broadcasting. Thank you for tuning in. So we know now that we have to work with our shadow side, deal with our inner Will, Jada, and Chris, and whatever that means for you. Let's ascend, let's do this work. And today we are in 210, white family, the truth family, white lunar dog. I polarize in order to love, stabilizing loyalty. I seal the process of heart with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of spirit. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. I polarize in order to love, stabilizing loyalty. I seal the process of heart with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of spirit. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. I polarize in order to love, stabilizing loyalty. I seal the process of heart with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of spirit. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me, white lunar dog.
Yay. We got white family today, Truth Clan. Yes. and isn't that what we got today? Truth, right? The Truth Clan is bringing us to truth today. And thank you, Truth Clan, card carrying Truth Clan member, Queen Hadassah, who brought us to the light with that tooth. Like, wow. So that's how you represent Truth Clan.
We're freeing people, Rev. This is awesome.
Oh my God, I feel incredible. All right, send some love, everybody. Send some love, send some love, send some love. Love y'all. Have a beautiful day. I don't hear no love. Come on, let's hear the love. Have a beautiful day.